love, which means that love must be shared and received. And here on Focus Paradise, that is all we do, share love. It's me, your girl, Akosia, live here on Focus Paradise. And it's a Saturday, and today we are about to talk love. And if I ask you, what does love mean? In your perspective, you must be able to explain it to me. But that question is not going to be thrown to anybody. It's not going to be a general question, but it's actually going to be a question which is supposed to be pinpointed. So today we're going to talk love, and it's all about teenagers. So if you ask me what does love mean, I should know what to tell you, but in teens' perspective. I'm not going to tell you what it means though, but if you stay tuned, you're going to know what my answer is going to be. We're going to have a teenage boy join me and 3 other resource people. So stay tuned. It's still Focus Paradise live here on J Prime TV, and today is Teen Talk Love. But I have 3 people here in my midst, and they are going to actually be my guests for today. We're going to ask them any type of question which has to do with love, and they must have an answer. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I would love you guys to introduce yourselves.
I am Nelikim Suchman.
Okay. Oh, I see. And
I am Majoy.
oh, you're an actor.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. And Mrs. Red,
I am Patrice Robertson.
we've had you here before.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. So today we are going to be talking about love. You're welcome once again.
Thank you.
So the first question is, what is love? Today's actually going to be a teen show, so he's going to go last. My bad. So from here, what does love mean in your perspective?
Okay, so love means sacrifice.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
that
Should
is
it-
hard. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, so when I say love means sacrifice, it means that, you know, a lot of things or how people perceive love is just that, oh, it's almost like a transaction. I give, you give, and it goes like that. But they forget that in order for you to truly love somebody, you have to sacrifice something. So just like Jesus died for us on the cross, he sacrificed his life for us. So love is sacrifice.
Oh, okay. So what did love mean to you when you were growing up as a teenager?
Oh. Hey. It meant a lot. My parents, I knew because I understand it as sacrifice, my mom and my dad had to sacrifice a lot for me.
Oh.
Me,
Yeah.
yes. I'm not thinking about my other siblings, I'm talking about me, yes. So I knew then, if you didn't do this one and I did this one, then you had to do this one too. Yes.
You don't have to explain too much. You get it. And my joy,
Okay, so I think love.
when you were growing up.
When I was growing up,
Yes. During your teen period.
Yes.
so I've since my childhood to now, I've always had the same reaction towards love. I think I'm very vulnerable when it comes to love and affection. So anybody that shows me a little bit of care or closeness, I end up falling in love. Like
Hey,
I end up giving myself away. You understand? Yeah.
Okay.
I do this.
And you are a teen. You are a teen. So what does love mean to you as a teen?
Well, honestly, through my experience, I've seen that people go through self-development. So if people are able to have affection for other people, they are able to prepare for the future.
Oh,
So that's
I
what
see.
I think, yeah.
And how old are you?
I am 14.
So now the question is, what is the craziest thing you've ever done for love? The craziest ever thing. As a teen, when you were a teen, I mean, you have to look back. You actually have to look back what you ever did. Just for that one person.
Hey. As a teenager. Hey. Are you going to go first?
Am I supposed to answer that one?
Yes, go first.
I'm also part. I thought it's a question. Oh.
No, is it your question? Share first.
For all.
My
Every
ma-
question is for
My
all.
mom is watching, please.
Don't worry. Now you're grown, you're a big man now.
Shall I go?
Yeah, you can. Oh,
wow.
yeah, you can go.
So, Valentine's Day, not this year, some time ago, I gave a teddy bear to someone. Someone, yes, please. Yeah.
I see.
That's the craziest thing you've done?
Yes, please.
Okay, I see.
And then mommy
It's
know.
really crazy.
Yeah,
How old were you and who is that person?
I was about 12 or 11.
Okay, so I think I walked
Okay.
a very long distance to see a girl. Very, very long distance. Like,
A long distance.
yeah, like,
Was
2
that
hours
important? There was no car.
it was very late. I didn't have money for transport. I was very young. I was a kid.
Could have just stayed back. Why would you walk 2 hours to see a girl?
Just to say hello, like nothing much.
You stress yourself.
Yeah.
Hey.
I think that's one of the craziest things I've done.
One.
Yeah, that's one of the
One.
craziest things I've done.
So
Like
you
I
have
said, I'm
made-
very vulnerable when it comes to
So just that little thing can actually trigger you to do so many crazy.
love. Is not a little thing. No. Love is like, to me, love is like a spirit. Love is very strong. You understand? And like I said, when you show me small affection and care, I give myself away. Like I get carried away. And I believe I'm not alone. There are a lot of people like that.
Yeah. I'm even like that. So
I'm going down the memories. I'm going down memory lane. I've had, as a teenager, I can't pinpoint myself to one.
oh,
There's a lot. I've done some pretty extensive things okay, so my kids will be watching this. No.
yours is too bad. Oh.
Hey, I got in trouble for them though.
So even if you don't answer, they will still ask you questions at home. So
Yes,
you better find something to say.
That one is okay. You walked how many hours? 2
Like 2
hours.
hours.
Okay, well, I took a flight to go meet someone as a teenager for love.
One was walking and the other was flying.
You
Yes.
see the difference?
Yeah, very huge.
Very huge.
Yes. And whenever I got there, the worst part was somebody had already came to see him. So I was going back. I was going back. Tears and all.
Like immediately, you had to go.
Oh, I had to go back.
Wow.
I had to go back. I can't stay for that.
Oh,
Yes.
me, what I'll say love is, in teen perspective, it basically has to do with the affection you have for the opposite sex, because they've basically done something. You see, sometimes the thing is, the problem we have is we don't actually look at what they do, it's how they look. That's actually a problem. Because when I just see somebody, I mean, we are looking for that tall, those things, yes. So when you just have those things, then we just classify you as my crush. And that brings me to another question. What is the difference between crush and love? I mean, when you were growing up, I mean, even still at this age, you still have crushes. Maybe right now.
Right now.
So, hey, I see. So what would you say the difference between crush and love is?
So
What do you
crush-
understand by it?
I understand crush is just someone that I like, somebody that I'm admiring. But love is more of whenever I'm involving myself with the person, I'm willing to give my all to the person.
That's a very strong one.
Right. So I think, you see, let's not restrict love to only the opposite sex. You understand?
But maybe that's what you're talking about now.
Okay, so okay, fine. Being in love and having a crush on someone, having a crush is like you admiring the person. Someone you really have a soft spot for, someone you admire from afar. You may get close to the person and not necessarily fall in love. You understand? So I think, like she said, love is giving yourself away. Love is allowing yourself to be controlled by the emotions. Do you get it? and then having a crush on someone is admiring the person. You see?
Yeah.
So I think there are two different things altogether. There are two different things. Having a crush on someone can lead to you falling in love. Sometimes you can crush on someone, go on a date with the person, and then you end up not really liking the person.
The person, yeah.
You see? So I think having a crush on someone is admiring something about the person.
Oh, I see. Yeah, makes so much sense. And then Likem?
For me, love is something people take seriously. Crush is like when you like someone, but it's not as strong. You've not really analyzed the person to make that decision. And that's what I think.
Okay. So actually we have another guest here today, one of the most beautiful women I've actually seen today. And she is the winner of Ghana Most Beautiful 2020. She took the award and you are welcome.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. This is for Kids Paradise. And today we are coming to talk about love. So you also have to be involved and also share your experience and what it actually means. So that means we have to go back.
Okay, I'm sorry to take you guys back.
Oh, yeah, no problem, don't worry. So when you were growing up, I mean, there was that one thing that you were actually caught up in, which is love, right? So
I think.
when you were growing up as a teenager, what did love mean to you?
Well, growing up as a teenager, I think I saw love as, this thing where you are so wrapped up in the person's presence that no one else should matter, nothing else should matter, and it's just all about them, basically. That's what I thought love was as a teenager, and that was what I experienced as a teenager in love.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. So, Nelly Kim, in school, I know you have a crush, right?
No, I do not.
How is that possible? Because I know having a crush is like something very natural.
Well,
like it comes.
I
What's
probably have, but currently, being honest, being real, no. But I have. I have, yes.
In school.
Yes.
Okay, I see. So, when you were growing up, you had crushes, you had people you fell in love with, and when you were... Anyways, how old are you?
I'm 33.
Okay, so when you were growing up, how would you differentiate you having a crush on someone and you falling in love with someone?
Okay, right now, or what I thought when I was growing up?
Yeah, when you thought when you were growing up, as in your teen period.
I think I wasn't able to distinguish between the two. I think growing up, and I'm taking you back to my junior high and senior high school days, there weren't a lot of conversations about love. There was just, picking up on the surfaces. People see you together with someone ever so often, and all of a sudden you are a thing, even when you're really not. So I think we use the word crush and love interchangeably. I don't ever remember hearing anyone say, in love. People say love, I love her, I love him. I never heard anyone say, I'm in love with. I'm not sure our minds could really go that far, or we dared to even think about what being in love would mean. We just played with the words, love, crush. And I don't think anyone really stopped to distinguish between the two. I think it just means the same thing to all of us.
That's nice. So,
Let it flow.
So, do you have a crush now, Nelly Kim?
No.
Very sincere.
I'm very sincere.
You don't?
No, I do not.
Okay, so let's come to me now. So in school, right? A friend, or not me, a friend, the emphasis on the friend. A friend of mine has a crush on someone. And this girl doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know how to control herself when she even sees him around. And sometimes, you end up doing some things. I mean, sometimes you get confused. Her grades will be dropping. She actually doesn't know what to do. You get it? So in this case, I want to advise her, but I don't know what to say. So you having passed your teen life, what would you say I should tell her to make her adjourn comfy? If you were to advise me as a mother and daughter, if I was to be in the person's shoes and I were to come to you to come and say this thing to you, what would you tell me?
I would tell you to put the boy on hold. Boys will be there. As you get older, they'll continue to be there, and to focus on the things that are important right now. And then afterwards, then you can, if it's actually meant to be or something that you feel as though you can't let go of, then we'll find an alternative way to handle it. But as for right now, you should be focused on your books and not necessarily the boy, because he's distracting you. Your grades have already started falling.
It's actually not as easy as you think, because it's actually natural, you know.
You have to find, so with you taking your focus off of him and putting it on your books, there's other things that you will find ways, like things to do with your time. Because right now, if your time is always being focused on him, you have to find, when you remove that one, you have to replace it with something. So if it's an extracurricular activity, if it's an extra class, if it's a book, if it's me even coming to spend more time with you, then that would be something to do. But it has to be something to take your mind off of that one thing to replace it with something else.
Is that something you did when you were like me?
It's something that I've had to do whenever I was like you.
So you did it?
I've had to do it.
You've had to?
Yes.
Did it work?
It worked. It's probably
Very sure.
I'm very sure that's probably why I'm a workaholic now.
Oh, and what was the outcome?
The outcome? The guy has been married 3 times. He has like 7 kids. Yeah, and I'm still doing my thing.
Oh, I see. And Majoy, the same question.
Okay, so I would want your friend to understand that falling in love as a teenager is normal and it's natural. It actually means that you are growing, you are developing, you understand. It means that your system is beginning to respond to emotions. But you need to make sure it's a healthy relationship and it doesn't get destructive. You understand? Falling in love as a teenager actually helps you develop in some ways. It helps you to develop communication skills and how to react to affections. But you should be careful it doesn't distract you. There are more things to life than falling in love as a teenager. Your books are there, you need to be focused, you need to make sure it doesn't distract you. So in a case where the relationship is taking you away from your basic duties, like studying and all that, then you need to stay away from it.
That was one of the things she said. It was distracting. Her grades was falling.
You see? So,
but actually, was it something you were doing when you were like, were you reading your books when you were in love with that one girl?
The same love scenario took away my attention from reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took my attention. It distracted me. It hated me so hard. Like I told you, I'm easily swayed away by emotions. You understand? Yeah. So, nah. In as much as I think it's natural, it should be balanced. You should be careful it doesn't distract you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Antina, the way you're smiling, I'm sure there's something you have to say. So much experience.
Yeah, a little bit of experience. And let me just say that I don't think that at that age we have the ability to control. I was going to say we have the ability of self-control. I think that's too much to say. But I've been there. You know, I lie to my parents, and then I go out and see him. I tell them I'm going to study. So if you find, your parents can put you in a swimming class. You tell them you're going to class, you're going to see the boy.
Is your father watching?
What's that?
Is your father watching?
Exactly. I don't know. No, it's okay. I'm grown up now. I'm not there anymore. But those are the realities, you know? I mean, I have a kid sister, and that's what's going to happen, you know? And when she was talking, I'm like, okay, train that child all you want. Tell them everything you want. When they see that boy, they're going to feel this electric shock.
You know,
and they're going to be all about him.
But you know, if we create, I think one thing is, because she's asking about advice, but if you create the type of atmosphere for them already from once they're little and they're growing up. They easily come to you and they easily take the advice that you give them.
That was what my point was going to be. I feel like, you know what, you can't take them away from the subject of their love. No matter how much training you give them, no matter how much you threaten them that it's going to get in the way of their studies, the grades were already falling, right?
Yeah.
You need to create an environment so they can come to you. So you need to meet that person.
Exactly.
And that is not common in our African households. But I feel like that is the way.
That's the best way.
Exactly. So well, my sister, sometimes I drop her with her friends. I don't know if she's dating any of them. I don't know. But you know, I meet the people that she goes out with. I know where she's going. I take her. Sometimes she calls me to pick her up. Sometimes I'm home and she comes. So I feel like she's not going to hide
anything from
anything.
You've created this form of bond.
Exactly. So her grades are not going to fall because she feels the freedom. You know, she has a sound mind. She can go out if she wants. She's not going to be consumed by him because she knows that she has the support from home.
Yes.
And if there's an issue, she can come back. So I think we just have to open up and let it happen because whether you like it or not, it's going to happen.
Yes.
The difference is that now you'll be in control, so you can advise and guide, and then they will be free of all the distractions.
I see. So you mean you have to create that form of bond and atmosphere with that person to be able to be free and say anything.
I think it's the only way.
Mummies, daddies, you said it all.
Yes.
So, Nelly Kim, are you able to speak to your parents, like mommy or daddy, about your love life, your feelings?
My parents are mostly busy all the time, so I don't really get to speak with them that often. But normally, if I'm able to get time, I would speak about it to them, but I don't really get time to speak with them about it.
Who do you talk to the most about it? Have you ever even tried or have you ever done it? And what was their reaction?
The time I had to give a teddy bear to someone, I spoke to my parents. They were asking me a whole lot of questions. Is she your girlfriend? Is she this? And I was like, it's a very, like my best friend, like a best friend. So I wanted to give her a teddy bear. Well, she was my Valentine, but well, I had to put it in that context so that it's not that weird. So, yeah.
Can we all do aww? Aww. Okay, so I think he's a very sweet person. I can't really tell. But aside your parents, who have you ever told? Like, have you ever spoken to anybody about this?
My cousins.
Yeah, I think cousins are actually the best people to ever.
Yes.
They are the best, honestly.
Yeah. Most of my cousins, yeah. I've told them about it.
I see.
Most of it.
So now that our parents are very busy, they don't even have time. When they even get home, we are all asleep and stuff. Who do you think we should talk to in times like these?
You see, I want to add something to what he said. Cousins, Cousins are very vital in our group. Like, the kind of cousins you roll with during your teen.
From the mother's side.
Wherever, whether father's side, mother's side, cousin is a cousin. You know, cousins have influence on us, even sometimes more than our siblings.
Yes.
You mean the negative or the positive way?
If it's going to be negative, it's very negative. If it's going to be positive, it's very positive. If you understand?
I see.
If you are not lucky to have a good cousin that will advise you positively, it's going to hit you very hard. You know?
I see.
So...
Okay, so Antina, so in times like these, who do you think I should talk to or Nelly Kim should talk?
I think I agree with everyone on the cousins and siblings. You know, when your parents are not available, and it's not, even when your parents create the environment, I agree that it's not easy at all to speak with your parents. But, you know, the people who are closer to your age...
African homes. Emphasis on African homes. Because even on social media, you see those teens like me, even... Like the guys bringing their girlfriends home and they even hang out with the mom. Yeah, so you can go ahead.
Yeah, so I feel like if you can't talk to your parents and you find somebody who is closer to your age, an auntie, you know, a rich auntie,
yes,
a cousin or a sibling, just find somebody. You need to tell someone and have some advice. So.
And then again, I think your parents are the best people you should be able to talk to.
Yes.
We need to be very careful who our kids seek advice from.
Yes.
But,
So
yeah.
I think your parents should be growing up, we didn't get it like that. Our parents were strict. That's why you have to lie before you go out.
Maybe they won't listen to you. What are you
But
telling them?
we agree that the world has changed. So we are a bit calm with the kids than our parents were. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I think my sister here would have to lie that she's going to learn because she can't tell the father she's going out.
Yeah.
But in our world right now, we understand the life differently from how our parents did. So I think no matter what, your parents should be the right people you should talk to.
They should be the first ones.
Yes.
And if they won't listen, what are you telling them?
Well, at least you've went and you've tried.
Yes.
That's because you have to be able to accept. At the end of the day, you're going to be living under their roof, so they have certain things that they want you to follow. So
And I think as a parent, if you fail to listen to your kids, they will fail to listen to you when you want them to.
And that one is true too.
I see. So, Auntie, you were talking about our rich aunties. They're also slay queens. Don't you think they also distract us, just like you said the cousins were?
Oh, and like he said, you will have some good nuts and some bad nuts in the mix. When I say rich auntie, I was just making a fun reference anyway. Not every auntie will be a rich auntie. But there'll always be the good nuts and the bad nuts. So let's just hope that the people that the kids trust will be those giving them good advice. But I want to believe that no matter how bad your auntie may be, that's your mom's sibling or your dad's sibling. So it won't be all bad, hopefully. Hopefully.
I see. Any questions? I mean, now it has to be thrown to the two of us now, since you people are adults. So maybe if there's any advice you want to give us after.
Okay.
Now the ball is in your court.
So have you ever, Eliklem, have you ever thought about dating? Or you, Akosia, have you ever thought about dating? Because it's something I know around this age. I work with teenagers. So around this age, there's some feelings, as she was saying, you have a certain type of person that you like to see, and you're like, oh, okay, your heart does something, you straighten up your walk, you fix your hair a little bit. But have you thought about dating and then what it would actually entail if you was to do it?
Well, at a young age, some people, when they date, it's kind of very awkward. I've had some adults tell me, if you are dating this person, isn't it awkward? So dating at a young age is not very advisable, even though it can give you experience in the future. Well, yeah, that's what I think.
Okay. Okay.
Have I ever thought about it? Yes, of course.
Okay, and then after you thought about it, did you try to go into it, or it was only the thought and then you said, no, this isn't for me?
I will never make the first move. Never. Like, I don't know how to put it, but it's like, in this type of world, it's always the guy that is coming, but...
Okay, so let's say my brother, my son here, he comes to approach you and he says, oh, hey, will you be my Valentine? He starts there. And you say yes, you accept his Valentine gift. And then after some time goes on, you two, because it's a lot of closeness or time that's spent together. Maybe you two start spending time together, and then he comes to approach you. I don't know how they do proposals here in Ghana, but maybe he does some proposal type of thing, and he asks you to be his girlfriend. Then how do you take that?
You always have to think about mommy and daddy, honestly, because there is, I don't know, there's this type of fear in you when someone is just like, will you be my girlfriend? Because honestly, my mom goes through my phone every single day.
Rightfully.
Exactly, and she will never stop doing that till she thinks I'm an adult, So it depends on who the person is. Sometimes you feel like the person should just be your friend, because there are actually some people that I will, no matter what you do, I always say no. I can never say yes. But yeah, yes.
So, and then again, I still think it's not an evil thing to do, to like a person of the opposite sex as a teenager. I think it's not a bad thing to do, but you should make sure it's a healthy relationship.
Yes.
The moment you start being afraid of mommy and daddy, that means you have a dream fee.
No, I don't. Honestly,
No,
I don't.
I'm not saying to you directly, but I'm just saying it like it's a general something I'm saying. The moment you start being scared, that means you have something else in mind, which shouldn't be. It's not a crime to like a friend of the opposite sex or be fond of a friend of the opposite sex. Who knows? You both can grow to fall in love later or can grow to become couples.
Yes.
So we just make sure it's a healthy relationship. Don't fail to talk to your parents about it and be as open as possible to your parents. They're the right people to guide you, to advise you on what to do. Because if you are my son, because I am a man and I've been through those stages, when you ask me questions, I know how to advise you. I know how to guide you. I know what to say to you so you won't find yourself in trouble. Because falling in love is something, if you are not mentally matured to handle the circumstances that come with it, it's very, very, very dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I can say.
I see.
Okay, so what is actually the right age you would actually suggest for a teenager to actually step into a relationship?
The law says 18 years.
The law. The law.
Yeah.
Is it the PNDC law? Which one? Because the law doesn't talk about love. Boo. Okay, you as an adult, what do you think is actually the right age?
So, my sister, my little sister, she's now, Gabrielle is 28, but she had her first boyfriend when she was in high school. And because of how we were raised, it wasn't like it was a secret or anything. If there was a family dinner at his house, we would take her, drop her off. Whenever it was time, the mom would call us. My mom or my dad or myself, we would go and pick her up. Now, mind you, she was still in high school. They grew to be dating up until she was finished with university. Yes, before they finally decided to end up breaking up. So I think it varies. It depends on what your parents are comfortable with, first of all, and the dynamics of the relationship. Because I don't believe that you should be 16 and having, as we would say, you shouldn't be having sex. You're not married. So my sister, it wasn't until later on when she was finished with university, where that conversation even came into play. It was one of the reasons that they ended up breaking up, because it was something that she wasn't ready to do. Yeah. So it's all about how you're raising if you as my sister, how I would interact with you and how I would raise you, the type of conversations that we would have. That is where we would determine if you feel as though you're actually mentally mature enough or capable of having this type of relationship, because relationships can be very stressful at times. And if the boy, depending on where he's coming from in his background, there might be some things that he's bringing to you that you may not be able to understand. And if you don't have the right people to talk about it with, then you'll be taking those on in secret and you'll be stressing yourself out. That's when your grades will start to drop. You'll become stressed. You might end up with different types of mental health illnesses. So I think it varies whenever it comes to the age with maturity, but also with the people that you have around you that are there to support you and how they actually accept it or what they will want to take on as a responsibility too. Because whenever you start dating, they're dating your family too. It's not just you alone. They're dating your family too, because if it's something that they feel as though you can't go do, you can't go do it. And whether the boy likes it or not, it's something that he would have to not only accept, but respect.
Okay. I understand that. And please, do you have anything to say as well?
Yes, I do. I feel like listening to what you're saying, it has a lot of cultural nuances in it. Because especially when you said if you're dating the family. And then you said you go to drop her off at family dinners. But from where I come from, when you're dating somebody, you're not necessarily dating their family, especially at that age, right?
Okay.
It's just not in our culture. So like he said, these days, millennial parents or millennial older siblings are now influencing parents, so they're opening up a bit. Mm-hmm. But in our culture, the idea of your child being, especially when it's a girl, being exposed to a boy is very painful for parents to take. So the reason why I talk about creating the environment, you see, when I talk, I try to lean more towards the child and speak from the child's perspective. So instead of giving advice, I'm trying to say, okay, if I were the child, what would I be doing? So I put more responsibility on the parents to do the doing, create the environment,
Yes.
give the advice,
Yes.
open up. Because in this context, parents are just not open. So
No.
once you talk about somebody being in a relationship at that age, in my mind, it's already more towards being a secret. It's already a secret. So in my submissions, I'm trying to say, okay, it's okay if it's a secret. It's okay if it's still there. It's okay if you want it. You are going to want it. It's going to happen. Mom and dad may not accept it, but just try to get closer, because that's the only way you are going to be protected. And when mom and dad are not opening up, find someone else who will.
Yes, they have to, yes.
So yes, mom and dad are the best, but in this culture, the chances that they will listen and give you the support that you need, they will give support, but the one that you really need, the listening ear, the understanding, is low.
Yes, because it comes with other types of things and you start to share them. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So in the absence of being dropped to both families opening up and all that, fine, most of the responsibility will fall on the parents. But it's just, I feel like the most important thing is, don't do it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it alone. And whoever you're talking to, the person should come from family. We always talk to friends, that's easy.
Yes.
But get a cousin, get an auntie, get an uncle, somebody who really cares about you, and share.
Even grandma.
Yes. Anyone, right?
And then I think no matter how old you are not ready for a relationship until you are mentally ready for it.
I see.
Wow.
Okay, so now let's go to social media. So it has become a platform where, everybody goes to, teenagers, adults, kids, and fans even go to go and, watch stuff for entertainment. But such content that are so-called role models have been posting, it's mostly about love and everything. And do you actually think they are painting the right picture about what it actually is? Which will actually pull us to enter, Because sometimes that's why some kids are actually very eager to have boyfriends and girlfriends and all those things.
I think with the social media thing, it's like now I was saying, because it's such a secret, like let's say culturally, it's not something that is really talked about. Even for some of my youth that are in university, it's more like, shh, I can't say this, but I can come and talk to you. Like, let me get some advice about it. So because of that, they blindly copy what they see. And so they see that this person is on social media. They're getting all these likes. They're getting all these fans about, dating this person or doing this one thing. So therefore, they go about and they try it. But whenever they try, they don't always get the same outcome as what they've seen there. So it turns into I want to say like a snowball effect, because then somebody else sees their friend doing it and then they copy their friend. So I don't advise anybody to copy what they see on social media. Because you don't know actually what's people. I can sit here right now and be like, and be making it like I'm just like the happiest person in the world. Whenever that phone goes off, I could be crying and miserable. So what you actually see on social media is not always what the facts are on the ground. So I wouldn't advise anyone to go, especially not any of my teens or anything like that, to go and copy what they see just because they like it or they see that somebody else is liking it.
So one thing I need the youth to understand, especially the teenagers, is that majority of the things you see on social media are fake. They are not real. It's just make-believe. There are things we want you to see, okay? When you watch my contents on social media and you see me in person, we are two different people altogether.
Yeah.
When you see me wearing boxer shorts and singlets on social media, I don't think I would walk in here in boxers. Do you understand me? So it's not everything you see on social media that you must do or you must copy. Just understand that it's purely entertainment and it's business to some people. You get it? So you should be careful the things you see online and the ones you want to do or the ones you want to copy. It's mostly it's not real. Mostly it's just make-believe. It's just for the likes and the numbers. You understand?
Yeah. I get it. And the auntie?
Yeah, I agree with what they both said. Social media is definitely not the place to copy anything from, you know. I usually, because of the pages, some of the pages I follow, I see what people say about love and relationships. And man, 99% of them are crazy. Oh my God.
Yes.
Like, what
And they're
is
not to
this?
cut you. They know the truth, but they're just saying it for the likes and the
Yeah,
numbers.
likes, you know, for likes, for numbers, for business, for following. So people say things even they don't believe in.
Yes.
So how do you then go and make it your belief, you know, or your value system? Social media is really not the place.
Okay, so
distorted.
I want to ask a question, and it's just yes or no, because we're actually out of time. So if falling in love would let me do all these things, should I fall in love? That's the question.
Yes, fall in love with your books.
Oh, days. So no, it's a no for you.
As a teen,
Yes.
oh, fall in love with self-development.
Oh, God. So yes or no?
So I would say no. Fall in love with yourself. Yes, fall in love with yourself.
So self-love.
Yes.
I get it. And
No.
so Nelly Kim, what did you learn from today's conversation?
Well, definitely, what you see online is not everything you have to believe in. That's something that's really, like, got stuck into my brain. So now whenever I go online, I don't need to believe everything I see.
I see, and also agree with you. I think sometimes some love you actually fall into is not necessary. That's what I've actually learned today. So yeah, I think I've actually learned a lot today. So we're going to be wrapping up. We just have a few seconds to actually go. So any last words from? Very brief.
Very
We have
brief.
about like 2 minutes.
Okay, as I gave you the advice, fall in love with yourself. Learn different ways to build your mental capacity. Understand how to communicate effectively, and learn some emotional intelligence so that by the time you're able to get into a relationship, then there will be certain things that won't actually affect you or bother you, and you'll be able to handle them well.
So I would say, give yourself time to grow.
Yes.
I believe in growth. Give yourself time. At the right time, everything will fall in place without struggling for it.
Yeah, and Auntie.
I'll say that at this stage, you need to put yourself first. Putting yourself first is getting all the knowledge and education that you can, building your friendships. Love and relationships will come and go, but that's not what's important. So put yourself.
Okay. Thank you very much for coming. I mean, I've learned a lot from you three today, and even Nelly Kim as well. And thank you guys too for tuning in. It's For Kids Paradise with me, your host, Akosia. Catch me same time next week, 12 p.m. sharp with Kelly and Kayla. Love y'all.